We note with concern the resurgence of parallel market activities driven by speculative tendencies. Corrective measures are being instituted to protect all Zimbabweans from economic disruptions. Together, let us lay a solid foundation for economic prosperity, peaceful development, and freedom from undue external interference. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, it is my distinct privilege and honor to once again address this august House, nearly a year since the opening of the first session of the 10th Parliament of Zimbabwe. The peace and tranquility that has prevailed since then has allowed evident results in all parts of the country. Our commitment to enhance the well-being of the people of our motherland, Zimbabwe, by entrenching unity, stability, security, and development remains a key mission for my administration. My government is committed to the realization of the promises made by our ruling party, ZANU-PF, despite enormous challenges and difficulties as a result of the illegal economic sanctions imposed on our country, we are recording encouraging progress. The philosophy of leaving no one and not less behind is anchored on inclusive transformation and shared prosperity. Our nation's strength lies in unity in diversity. Hence, social cohesion in our unitary state shall be jealously guarded and defended by my government. Tendencies that fuel discord based upon perceived regional and tribal differences, as well as social and economic hierarchies, have no place in our nation and must be rejected. Regrettably, the El Nino-induced drought constrained our growth across all economic sectors, particularly the agricultural sector. However, under the Food Deficit Mitigation Program, communities requiring food assistance in rural areas are receiving grain, while vulnerable households in urban areas are benefiting through the Cash for Cereals program. Of particular note is the school feeding component, which has been designed to avail at least one decent meal per day for all learners in communities hard hit by the drought. Let me assure the nation that no Zimbabwean will go without food. The Grain Marketing Board has established agro shops, mainly in rural depots, as part of a raft of measures to ensure food availability at more affordable prices. The establishment of 35,000 village business units is gaining momentum, supported by the Presidential Board Drilling Program, and will further enhance food nutrition security at household level. On behalf of the government and people of Zimbabwe, I want to express my profound appreciation to all those countries and organizations who responded to our domestic and international appeal for humanitarian assistance in the first quarter of 2024 following the devastating drought. Mr. Speaker, Madam President, may I recognize and applaud the vital role played by our farmers in feeding our people and contributing to Zimbabwe's agricultural self-reliance. A new record wheat harvest of 600,000 tons is projected from the 2024 winter crop. This is a result of our unity of purpose and effective policy frameworks. We remain optimistic in respect of the 2024 to 2025 summer cropping season, with projections of normal to above normal rainfall in most provinces of our country. I'm pleased with the pace of inputs distribution under the Mvudza Intwasa Presidential Climate-Approved Agriculture Production Scheme and other programs. To date, various institutions and private sector stakeholders have committed to support farmers under the National Enhanced Agricultural Productivity Scheme. I congratulate ADA for scooping the prestigious 2024 Africa Food Prize in recognition of our people-centered transformative agricultural policies. For the upcoming summer season, ADA has been given a target of 500,000 tons of cereals for the strategic grain reserve. Water harvesting remains critical to climate change mitigation and adaptation towards complementing rain-fed production systems. The full utilization of small dams and wells, as well as conveyancing around the bigger dams, is top priority to my administration. The Rural Infrastructure Development Agency has scaled up assistance to communities with tillage activities as the summer farming season draws closer. Beyond water provision, government has rolled out a program to bolster hay baling and transportation to drier regions. Mr. Speaker, Madam President, the mining sector continues to attract favorable investment. Demand for new energy minerals is also growing, with its associated opportunities for the country's entry into the value chain industries. Mining houses in the gold and other precious minerals sector are called to scale up production. Assets under the Sovereign Wealth Fund are envisioned to bolster performance and revenue from the mining and other sectors. The overarching goal is for the rich natural resource elements of our beloved motherland to benefit all Zimbabweans. Tourism arrivals continue on an upward trajectory, recording growth higher than the same period last year. Widespread infrastructure development projects have resulted in positive spin-offs across other sectors of the economy. The Nimbe Lima program has been modified to see provincial road authorities pulling together equipment into single construction units to implement works on prioritized projects at the local level. The requisite funding and technical support for the initiative will be availed by my government. Going into the future, infrastructure development will be a critical pillar to our economic growth. Revitalization and creation of jobs, as well as stimulation of broader production capacity utilization. Meanwhile, it is regrettable that road traffic accidents continue to plague our nation. The government will implement more stringent measures to safeguard lives. National power supplies remain subdued, partly due to low generation at the Kariba power station. Improvements are expected from the pending commissioning of several projects by independent power producers. Over and above the use of solar energy, the country's position on the use of alternative energy sources should be intentionally examined. Mr. Speaker and Madam President, the roadmap for crafting the National Development Strategy 2 is now in place. This august House is called upon to avail the usual support in the related processes. Currency stabilization is at the core of macroeconomic stability. The adoption of the Zimbabwe gold, the ZiG, in April 2024 this year, was an important step towards stabilizing the domestic currency anchored by our gold and precious metal reserves. It remains the duty of all of us to respect and abide by measures and instruments intended to maintain economic stability and tame inflation in our country. In response to the increased foreign currency pressures and in a bid to deepen the foreign exchange market, the Reserve Bank allowed for greater flexibility under the willing buyer, willing seller arrangement. The increased flexibility on the foreign exchange market is expected to further promote effective price discovery and encourage holders of foreign exchange to participate in the willing buyer, willing seller market. Government remains committed to backing the currency through setting aside 50% of royalties for building reserves. Foreign currency inflows from exports have increased from US 7 billion in 2023 to over 8 billion in 2024. Our currency banking sector is on sounding footing with sufficient capital and liquidity buffers, while profitability, asset quality, and liquidity metrics have also remained stable. However, we note with concern the resurgence of parallel market activities driven by speculative tendencies. Corrective measures are being instituted to protect all Zimbabweans from economic disruptions. Together, let us lay a solid foundation for economic prosperity, peaceful development, and freedom from undue external interference. Mr. Speaker, Madam President, government is supporting the transformation of the media landscape through bold measures to preserve our culture and nurture a positive country image. Through the mantra of leaving no one, no place behind, the Montrose television studios in Bulawayo are being comprehensively modernized. Similarly, community radio stations such as Kulumani FM and the Central FM, as well as Mbesi and Ntebe, Manama, in Matabeleland North and Matabeleland South, respectively, together with Madziba FM in Mashonaland Central Province, are undergoing upgrade to increase the reach of broadcasting services. Investments by more local and international players in our telecommunications industry are welcome towards better quality as well as availability and affordability of digital and telecommunications services. The Second Republic remains committed to enhancing the health delivery system. To this end, government is availing resources for the acquisition of essential medicines and specialist medical equipment for all our central provincial district hospitals. In line with emerging technologies, the introduction of telemedicine to facilitate virtual specialist consultations for citizens in remote parts of our country is being speeded up. Under the ongoing health sector reforms, my government is implementing measures to ensure universal health coverage and lifting our people from the burden of disease. The nation is assured that government has put in place robust surveillance and response plans for threats posed by public health risks. Communities are urged to continue exercising strict health hygiene standards. Mr. Speaker said, Madam President, the pace of the modernization and industrialization of our nation depends on the type of education that we expose to our young population. The recent curriculum review for the primary and secondary sector was far-reaching, while ICT penetration is making our students globally competitive. Building on the success registered by our innovation hubs and industrial parks at universities, focus will now shift to deliberately support the commercialization of products and services from these institutions for further growth of local industry and economy as a whole. Women and micro, small and medium enterprises are increasingly being aided to enter local, regional, as well as international markets. Through the Reoriented Youth Services in Zimbabwe program, our youths are participating in community projects such as the construction and rehabilitation of classrooms, teachers' accommodation, clinics, roads, boreholes, deep tanks, bridges and houses for vulnerable households. Environmental management practices should be emphasized across all provinces, districts, and wards as we exercise good stewardship over our God-given motherland, Zimbabwe. Meanwhile, I commend the Zimbabwean Defense Forces for their commitment to defend the sovereignty and territorial integrity of our nation. My government will continue to resource the security sector with modern technologies in tandem with global trends to ensure that they efficiently discharge their mandate. The nation is drawing notable benefits from the Second Republic's successful engagement or re-engagement policy. Allow me, therefore, to take this opportunity to express my profound gratitude to all the people of our great nation for contributing in various ways to the resounding success that characterized our hosting of the 44th SADC Summit and ancillary events. Congratulations, Zimbabwe. To advance regional economic integration, investment and growth, Zimbabwe signed a tripartite pact with Botswana and Mozambique for the construction of a railway line that links our three countries. Another tripartite agreement with Zambia and Mozambique established an initiative for the management of shared natural resources as well as fauna and flora. The first external e-passport offices at the Zimbabwe consulate in South Africa are now open. Going forward, the service will be rolled out to key destinations. The Second Republic will continue to foster stronger collaborative relationships with our diasporian nationals for win-win benefits and accelerated socio-economic development of our motherland. In unity of purpose, success across all sectors of the economy is guaranteed. Mr. Speakers, Madam President, may I preface the legislative segment of my address by highlighting that Parliament has an obligation to expedite the enactment of all bills that, for one reason or another, are outstanding from previous sessions of this august House. You carry the burden. The list includes bills relating to persons with disabilities, Administration of Estates Amendment Bill, Civil Aviation Amendment Bill, Death Penalty Abolition Bill, Parks and Wildlife Amendment Bill, Private Voluntary Organizations Amendment Bill, the Mines and Minerals Amendment Bill. Others are the Medical Services Amendment Bill and the Insurance and the Pensions Amendment Bill. This should be passed. The second category comprises bills that came to light since my last address, but which ministries never forwarded to Parliament. Ministries, when the ministers hear me, I should not be forced to name you. I also challenge parliamentarian portfolio committees to be seized with the business of bills that fall under their respective purviews. All concerned parties must address these anomalies for the collective good of our nation. As the transformation of the education sector gathers momentum, the introduction of the Zimbabwe School Examination Council Bill is expected to enhance the efficiency and the good corporate governance of the ZIMSEC board Likewise, the Teaching Professions Council Bill will regulate the conditions of service and produce a code of conduct for all teachers. Occupational health and safety is critical for the attainment of Vision 2030. The Occupational Safety and Health Bill should be expedited to further align with international conventions to which Zimbabwe is a signatory. Other bills due to be considered by this session include the State Services Pension Bill, establishing the State Service Pensions Fund, while the Public Service Act will be amended to align with the Constitution of the Republic. The Rural Electrification Fund Act, the Public Entities Corporate Governance Act, and the Pipelines Act will also be amended to be in sync with the present realities associated with the growth of our economy. The Legal Practitioners Amendment Bill will harmonize the administrative functions of the judiciary and the executive in the registration process for foreign legal practitioners. To enhance the fight against the scourge of corruption, the Public Interest Disclosure Protection of Whistleblowers Bill must sail through this session. I'm sure you hear me. Electronic transactions are expanding at a phenomenal pace as technology evolves. The drafting of the Electronic Transactions and Electronic Commerce Bill should be speeded up towards promoting legal certainty and affordability for electronic transactions. Additional bills include the Standards Bill, the Legal Metrology Bill, the Broadcasting Services Amendment Bill, and the Media Practitioners Bill. A number of protocols expected to be tabled for ratification during the second session of this 10th Parliament include the protocol amending the trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights, Amendment Protocol of 2005. The Lisbon Treaty to the Geneva Act, as well as the Zimbabwe-Russia Cooperation Agreement. Under the bilateral investment, promotion, and protection agreements, the Compensation Committee has approved 94 claims for compensation. This demonstrates government's commitment to fair and amicable resolution of matters with all partners. Peaceful coexistence in our region, the African continent and globally, is an essential ingredient for sustainable socio-economic development worldwide. Through ongoing efforts, the domestication of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and the promulgation of the Biological Warfare Bill should be fast-tracked, Mr. Speaker said. Mr. Speaker said, Madam President, in concluding my address, let me state that our motherland, Zimbabwe, shall continue to be a cradle of peace, unity, and security for all our people. We have proved repeatedly that as a united people, we can conquer all manner of adversity and emerge stronger. This is evident through the remarkable achievements realized since my last address to this august house. As the rain clouds gather, may Almighty God grant us the energy, the focus, the resilience and determination to till our land and banish hunger from among our communities. Through positive mindsets, maximum production and productivity, as well as hard, honest work across all farming subsectors, our industry and commerce, the future can never be anything but bright. May the second session of the 10th Parliament be blessed and endowed with wisdom. To take our beloved nation to greater heights, and the burden is upon you. I am confident that the laws enacted by this august house will remain pro-development and pro-people. And strengthening the foundation of our society and entrenching the values of hard work, equality, justice, and fairness. We all have a duty to forever defend and protect the independence, sovereignty, the unity and the peace and the freedom bequeathed to us by our founding fathers. Our nation has come this far, and nothing should ever discourage us as we march forward along the path we have chosen of development, the path of prosperity, the path of unity, the path of harmony, and the path of love. Together, let us build the Zimbabwe that we shall proudly pass on to future generations. That is our burden. With these remarks, it is now my singular honor and privilege to declare the second session of the 10th Parliament of Zimbabwe officially open for business.
On the state of Amen.